morning, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Pam from Old Hippie Homesteader. Welcome to my pantry prepper area. It's been a while since I've done a longer video, and we've been swamped. We have just been swamped. We're caregivers to two people, and we're just trying to buckle everything up out here before winter starts. We've moved some animals around. We've increased some animals. So I was trying to figure out what to do the video on. Now, when I get a lot of questions, I write the questions down on a pad of paper, and then I keep track and see what is the most asked question. Now, the most asked questions, which I was a little surprised, was saving money. I'm not the queen, but I've got a lot of questions and remarks about because I'm a penny pincher. It's true, I'm a penny pincher. Now, we're on Social Security, and most of the time our money works for us. So I'm going to tell you a few of the things that we do to save money, and then I printed out a lot of other ideas. Okay, so the number one thing that I do is I try not to buy new. That includes clothing. This is all used stuff. I get all my stuff at the Goodwill or yard sales. If I'm looking for something in particular, I go to Posh, P-O-S-H. It's called Poshmark. If I can't find it at the Goodwill, I usually can find it on Posh. I also resell on Posh. I resell clothing and other items. I don't make thousands of dollars with it, but it's a little extra money coming in, and which is perfect. Okay, so I buy all used clothing. But what was I trying to think of? We use the food bank. Yes, we use the food bank. Not every month, not every week, but certain months, we've got some big expenses that have been popping up. Things that just surprise the hell out of us. And this is my pantry. And everybody thinks, oh my God, you guys have a lot of food. Well, this is an accumulation of years learning how to do this. There's also some store-bought food, which I've gotten at the food bank. All this here is my freeze-dried. These are containers that cranberry juice came in. And in this particular container, I have hotel soaps and shampoos. Easy to grab. This one here is mustards and ketchups. I have all different ones, okay? These here, I make my own extracts. This is orange, okay? I make my own extracts. That's another way you can save money. Learn to make a few things yourself. Now, like I said, I use the food bank, but we don't use the food bank without giving back. We gave back 2 weeks ago a big stack of egg cartons, paper bags, plastic bags. We also had someone give us a big case of kitty food, cat food in the cans, which we don't use that kind. And so I gave that to the food bank, and also we donated about 50 or 60 of those Keurig cup kind of deals for coffee. But these were like weird coffees that my husband doesn't drink, and we donated those. So we always donate. Now, if we don't have anything to donate, I try and give at least $20. It saves me from driving down the hill and wasting gas. So I try to donate money. We never take and go. We also help. We also help load it up. We help take it to people's cars. We help set it up. So it depends on the day and what we have to donate or what we don't have to donate. Now, most of the time at the food bank, nobody touches the fruits and vegetables. They go for the cakes, the cookies, the candy, the ice cream. Nobody touches the big acorn squash. Nobody touches the pumpkins. Nobody touches any of that. So my spinach, all that is from the food bank. Now the squash and the big squash that we don't eat, I bring those home for my animals. So that's another thing we do to save money. We don't buy animal feed anymore. Back in the day, people didn't, get in their buggy and go get animal feed. Those animals ate what there was on their homestead. Now, we have an orchard, and I did a huge load of carrots in the garden, and those are now layered in a bucket in sawdust, and those are going to be used throughout the winter to feed the animals. When we trim our trees, we give them to the animals. When we mow the lawn, we give it to the animals. When the leaves start falling off the trees, I rake them up, give them to the animals. So I'm sure in the dead of winter, we do have animal feed out here, but I'm sure in the dead of winter, we are probably going to be using that. But for right now, for probably at least half of the year, we don't waste money on animal feed. Another thing I do is I don't use my dryer. I have the retractable clothesline that goes through my hallway. I have multiple foldable clotheslines. Our electric company is Pacific Gas and Electric. They almost killed us a year ago with a fire they started. I don't want to get started on that. I don't want to give them 1 cent. I'm not going to pay them for starting a fire that almost killed our town. I'm not going to do it. So if I can not use power, I'm happy as can be, okay? Most of the winter, we don't have any power because the weight of the snow breaks the lines or the poles. I'm fine with no power, absolutely fine. So we don't use our dryer. Another thing I do, we use our fireplace for heat. Now we do have a heater that came with the house. It burns red diesel fuel. That is about $8 or $9 a gallon. That ain't going to be happening. That isn't going to be happening. I'm not using that expensive fuel plus the electric to warm my house when we have a perfectly good wood burning stove. I put blankets up in the hallway to keep the heat in the living room. We don't need to heat bedrooms we don't use. We don't need to heat the bathroom. We don't need to heat our bedroom because when we go in to go to bed, we get under the blankets where we stay warm. That simple. If you come to my house and you're cold, put your socks on or put a sweater on. That's just how it works here. We changed our hot water. We have now an on-demand propane hot water tank. And it works just beautifully. And if you're asking how I paid for it, it was $200. I used my YouTube check, and that's how we bought it. Okay? It used propane. We're keeping track of our propane. So far, you can't even tell that it's being used. But if it was electric, that bill would have gone through the roof. Okay? Another thing we have not used cable TV in over 20 years. We use an antenna, a TV antenna, and we get over 200 channels. We have not. Why do you guys still have cable TV? Most of the stuff is a rerun anyway. That's ridiculous. It's about maybe $30, $40 a month, which is roughly about $1,500 a year. Why do you want to spend that? That's crazy. Put that money in the bank. Put that money in your safe. That's ridiculous. What else now? What else do we do? I make my own juices out of cranberry juice, out of cranberries, blackberries, out of grapes. I have multiple videos on that. What else? There's a dollar bookstore near us. I buy all my books there. They're $1. Learn to be your own contractor. Learn to work your own plumbing, your own electrical, your own house things that you want to do. The books, you can find them anywhere. I mean, they're cheap, cheap, cheap. And our little bookstore has tons of them, tons of them. And start your library. Now, here is another thing that I do. Everything I find on the internet that interests me, I print it out. And I keep it in binders. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 11 binders. I have binders for all of our personal information. I have binders for my canning. I have another binder for baking. I have another binder that has our topographical maps. This has all of my recipes for making my own medicinals, for making my own toothpaste. Now, I make my own toothpaste because I'm allergic to aspirin. Aspirin isn't everything. If I have anything with aspirin, I will die. My tongue swells up. I cannot breathe. I've been to the ER multiple times because of things that had aspirin in it. So I make my own toothpaste. And normally it's like just 3 or 4 little ingredients, not a lot. You can buy the jars that you want to keep it in. You can save the jars that you get your food from the store. You can get them at the Goodwill. That's not a problem. So I make my own pharmaceuticals, my medicinals is what I call them. I make my own shampoo, soap, hand cream, laundry soap. I make my own flour tortillas, my own corn tortillas. I make my own breads, soups, stews, all that. Another thing that we do, I buy marked down meat. I find a lot of the marked down meat at Winco. Beautiful, beautiful deals. And if I don't see anything, and if I see the butcher, I just tell him, you don't have any marked down meat in the back, do you? And he'll say, what are you looking for? Normally I say beef or pork, and he'll say, well, let me go check. And I think he goes back there and marks it down for me. I think he likes it. Makes him happy. And I tell him it's the only way we can afford it. You know, we do raise our own protein out here, but I like to stock freezer. I like to just have my freezers full. So when we use the wood burning stove, and to get back to that, we chop our own trees down, we cut it, we split it, we put it in our wood shed. But if I'm going up to town and I see 2 or 3 pieces of wood that, you know, a lot of city people come up here and cut their wood and stuff. Well, as they're zooming through town, you know, 4 or 5 pieces pop out of the back of their truck. If I happen to see wood cut, ready to burn on the side of the road, I stop and pick it up. I have no shame. I have no shame. I will stop and pick it up and add it to our wood pile. We have a lot of 55-gallon drums out here. They came with the house when we bought it. I fill those with pine cones and sticks. That's our kindling. My husband pulls, I fill about, I think we have 5 or 6 that I fill with kindling. He grabs one, pulls up on the front porch for me. When that's empty, he goes and grabs another one. We just keep rotating. We rotate. So usually around August or September is when I start picking up the pine cones. I want to make sure everything is dry. And that's when I start filling the 55-gallon drums. When we were at the dump, I found a giant round black compost ball. Free. Brought it home. I fill it. I roll it every once in a while. I make my own compost. I don't buy compost. I don't buy potting soil. I don't buy any of that. Another thing that I make when we go fishing, I save the fish guts. I save the heads and the tails in a Ziploc baggie in the freezer. Then in the spring, I put the frozen fish pieces in a big bucket, fill it with water, mash it up like a disgusting soup. I pour that on my vegetables. That's my fish emulsion. I make my own. Okay? Make my own. So there's multiple things you can do to turn the lights off. If you're cold, put on a sweater. Don't turn that thermostat on. You're not going to die. You don't need your heater running when you're sleeping. You're under blankets. You're not going to die. If you don't have a fireplace, use that heater when you get up in the morning just to take the chill off the house. When I'm baking, and I'm done, I leave my oven door open so the heat can disperse through the house. Now, another thing you might not know about, just because you have all your appliances on your counter, your toaster and all that stuff on your counter, if you're not using them, you think it's not drawing power, you're wrong. I unplug them. I have a long, I think it's called a power switch or something. It's long and it holds multiple cords. I turn that off. Because even though your appliance is off, it's still pulling power because of all these smart meters now. It's still pulling power. So my appliances and stuff, they're either unplugged or the power, what's it called? The power strip. I hit the red button and it's turned off. So that's, I do, I mean, we have 3 freezers. We have 3 freezers. Our PG&E bill to run 2 homesteads, one of our homesteads is off-grid, and the other one is half off-grid, half electrical. Ours is, we want everything propane. I'm trying to figure out the lighting. We can't figure out the lighting. We want to be off-grid, but we don't want to have 85 batteries. That's not the off-grid we want. We want off-grid. So we run 2 homes on our power. So one's partial electric, the other one is propane, mostly propane. Our bill is between $85 and $100 a month. I know people that are paying over $1,000. Our heating bill is $0. I am a freak when it comes to power. Shut it off. Shut it off. Shut it off. Shut it off. If you have we have a home that has multiple bedrooms. It's just the 2 of us here. Every door is closed. Keep those doors closed. You don't need heat being wasted in those doors, in those rooms. You don't need heat in your bathroom. Get in, do what you want to do, get out. I'm not paying an electric company that almost killed us. I'm sorry, I have a big problem with that. Okay, so I printed out a paper of some more ideas. Now we have chickens. We get our own eggs. I can't tell you when we bought eggs. I just can't even tell you that. And I was telling you about the bookstore we have close to our town. If you have something like that, become your own contractor. I'm not talking big stuff. I'm talking repairs. My washing machine broke. I looked online. I fixed it myself when my hubby was in Alaska on his Harley. I fixed it myself. I was so proud. I was so proud that I did it myself. So become your own contractor. So get some used books. Start a library. If you don't have any space, put a little shelf unit, in a hallway or in a bedroom or somewhere. Start a little homestead library on canning, on dehydrating, freeze drying, on sewing, knitting, crocheting. Now I know how to knit. If you know how to crochet, you can make your own socks, hats. You can make your own ponchos, gloves. I don't know how to crochet. I know how to knit. But you know what I find? I find them all the time at the Goodwill. Those little machines. You just wrap the yarn around it. It makes your hats, makes your socks. Most of them come with a little CD. You can put it in your computer. It's a little tutorial that shows you step by step how to do it. That's one way to how to do it. Okay? Let's see. So what we have out here is a huge scrap pile. It's very organized. It's not just a pile of crap. It's very, everything is all lined up together. Old windows, sheet metal, stainless, 4x4s, you name it, we have it. You have to become your own Home Depot. So if you're driving down the road and somebody has old windows out for the dump, the trash to take, grab those windows. Grab them. If you see old screens from a window, grab them. You can use those. You put 2 screens together, put your vegetables in between, put the screen, another screen on top, set it in the sun. You have your own dehydrator. Grab the screens. If you're driving down the road and someone's taking apart a gazebo and you see some nice 4x4s or redwood, grab it. If they're giving it away, grab it. Start your own, we call it our scrap pile. You can call it your own personal Home Depot. Save all that stuff because tin, metal, anything, aluminum, anything. Start your own scrap pile, okay? I used to freak out. Our scrap pile was a mess. It was just a mess. It was just piled everywhere. It looked awful. Nobody could see it except me. And, I'm Martha Stewart. But so over the years, we have organized it by section. That I'm happy with. You can walk out there, see exactly what we have, and pull from that pile. Our son bought a wood mill. He used his stimulus check and he bought his own wood mill. So we don't have to go to Home Depot to buy wood. That's something it's quite an expense. Most people can't afford that. But he's also now cutting wood for his brothers, cutting wood for neighbors. So that is helping a lot of people. Okay? So become your own contractor. Start your trash pile, not your trash pile. Start your salvage pile. Start your own how-to library, whether it's canning, baking, making croissants, whatever. Get the book, put it in your library so where you have it. Start your notebooks. Print out stuff off the internet because what if shit hits the fan and you guys can't get on the internet? Start your notebooks. Learn to cut your kids' hair. Why take and spend $50 every 2 weeks to cut your damn kids' hair? Unbelievable. Don't use the clothes dryer. Make your own products. Make your own body products, your own soaps, shampoos, laundry soap. Every Sunday, I do meal prep. I freeze, I cook, I bake for the week. It's called Sunday meal prep. I've been doing it for a bazillion years. I still do it even though it's the 2 of us. Start making your own coffees and lattes and all that crap. Start making it at home. We don't do any of that. I like green tea. I make my own here and put it in my cup. I take it with me in my cup. I'm not giving somebody $9 for a cup of tea. Can't do it. Oh my God, I can't do it. Start making your own. Okay, I'm going to give you an example here, and I don't want this video to go too long. How long is it already? 23 minutes. Okay, I try not to go too long. This is my soup mix. Now, you can buy these at the stores that have the big bins. I make my own. This has carrots in it. This has freeze-dried peas, corn. There's rice in it. There is, what else is in it? Barley, whatever you want to put in it. You just add a cup of this and you've got your soup. Just 1 cup of this and some water. You've got vegetable soup. If shit hits the fan, you've got soup. Okay? I learned to make my own noodles. I learned to make my own croissants. They don't turn out very well, but I'm learning. I make my own flour tortillas, corn tortillas. Like I said, my juices. I learn to be your own grocery store. Learn to be your own Home Depot. Okay? Let me see here. I don't want this to go really long. Another thing, don't pay for your kids' college. If they want to go to college, pay for a community college. Because 99% of the time, when they graduate, they don't want to be in that profession. Or they quit. Don't pay for your kids' college. Don't put any money away for them. Don't. I'm sorry. That's just us. That's just how it works. Our 3 sons have wonderful professions, and they went to community college. Let's see here. Textbooks. Like I told you about that. Now, if you know how to play the piano or guitar, you can teach lessons. You can teach and get paid for that. Like we recycle of beer cans, soda cans, water bottles. We go twice a year. The last time we went was quite a while ago, many months ago. We got over $200. We turned around and took that $200 and paid one of our bills that we had. That worked out beautifully. The money didn't have to come out of our bank. And always try to have money set aside. Always pay yourself first. Put a little money away. Even if it's $5, put it away. We just had a huge bill from our cat. Our cat likes to chew on kindling, and a piece got stuck in his intestines. Cost $1,000 for a cat. But we had the money. Yes, it took that was a huge thing. That was money that was set aside for our home insurance, things like that. And that was a huge expense. But we had it. I'm grateful that we had it. Not crazy about the cat, but I'm glad we had it. So, and if you see things on sale, buy in bulk. But remember, the big thing is your electric bill, your heater, your car. Who needs a car payment that's $600 a month? Are you serious? Haven't people heard of buying a used car or fixing the car they have? What is wrong? For some people, it's going to take a rock to fall on them to get them to wake up. I can't help that. So, my freeze-dried food, this is extra stuff, my waters, this is all my canned food, this is extra things from the store that I find on sale. So I hope this video was interesting. I hope I didn't bore you. I hope I gave you some ideas. Like I said, I print out a lot of stuff. If I see something online, I print it out. Because you never know. You could wake up one morning and you're like, how come the lights don't turn on? How come we don't have any internet? Oh, crap, World War III hit. Or shit hit the fan. Or somebody hit a power plant. You have what you need right here. Now in my binders, I keep warranties. If I forget how to use one of my little appliances and I lost the instructions, I go online, I print it out. You have to learn how to do sutures. If someone gets cut, print it out. Get some medical books in your library. Get history books in your library. True history. Get how-to. Sewing, crocheting, embroidery, baking, making soups. Add all those books to your library. So, thank you for all the questions. I'm sorry it's been so long since I've done a really big video. We've just been so busy, so busy. I'm hoping that it starts to slow down here now that it's getting colder and stuff. Be safe. Watch your surroundings. Now, I found a cute little tool the other day that I'm very happy with. It's called a baton. And it's not the baton that the girls use at football games and cheerleading. It's a baton, B-A-T-O-N. And it's a very nice protective tool if you need it. You get my drift? If you're afraid of a bang bang, if you don't want to have in your house, a little baton is wonderful to carry. We each have one now. Just because I'm an old lady doesn't mean I don't know how to. So be safe. Watch your surroundings. We love you for watching our channel. God bless you. Say your prayers. And thank you for watching. It really means a lot to us. Our videos are they're not professional. They're silly and they're few and far between. But we enjoy every single one of you. We truly do. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And Try and enjoy your family. Don't hit any hot topics. If you can't say anything nice, zip it. Thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. Bye-bye, guys.